welcome to a call to action, 3 global goals. This is the first event that we're running in a series of 4. So we'll also be running them in Dubai, London and Tokyo. So you guys get to be the guinea pigs. You're the ones who we're going to work with today to come up with some creative solutions for change. My name's Tiffany Kelly, and I am the co-founder of RoundTable Global. I'm also the patron of the N Committee and the creator of the Global Change Ambassador. So who are we, RoundTable Global? About 2.5 years ago, I was working for one of the biggest management consultancies as Global Head of Innovation, and I was designing and delivering programs around the world. And one of the programs that I designed was an Empowering Women program. And I found that when I stood in front of a group of women in Tokyo in a temple, and I was talking about being empowered and being authentic, that I realized that I actually wasn't. And I wasn't leading the life that I wanted to live. I was doing things that were about giving back and about helping others in my spare time, but it definitely wasn't something that was what I was spending all my time doing, and I felt that I wanted to do that. So I literally walked away from everything to set up RoundTable Global with my business partner and my partner, Dennis, who's also here today. And we really haven't looked back. I mean, our feet haven't touched the ground since we started. Our idea was to create an organisation that was purely about giving back. So we didn't want to create a commercial company that had a corporate social responsibility strategy. We wanted to create an organisation that was completely responsible. So for the first 10 months of our inception, we travelled around the world with the rest of our team. Charlotte, who's our other co-founder who can't be here today, I know she's watching, so hi Charlotte, we're thinking about you. We travelled around for 10 months and we put on events that we funded in Asia Pacific, Middle East, North Africa, Europe and the Americas. And we invited in young people, brilliant to see so many young people in the room today, the older generation, CEOs, policymakers. We had exciting venues like the House of Commons. And we basically said, we're in the luxury position of creating a brand new organisation. And we want to create an organisation where absolutely everything that we do gives back. What do you think we need to do in this world to find balance? And that's one of the questions that we've got for you today. And after those 10 months of doing events and programs and TED Talks and so on, we launched our 3 global goals. And that's what we're here to explore today. So our 3 global goals are empowering everybody, educational reform, and environmental rejuvenation. And wherever we went in the world, they were the things that came out as the top things that we globally need to do as citizens to make change happen and to create balance. And then an additional thing was that we needed to bring together the 3 generations. So there was so much power and so much energy and innovation and excitement that came from bringing the 3 generations together, and I don't think that happens very often. And again, that's why we've created a very inclusive platform today where you're all going to be able to work together and be inspired by each other. So that's RoundTable Global. Where did it all start for me? 3 years ago, I met the First Lady of Japan. I was working in Japan. I designed this empowerment program, and she and I sat across the table from each other, and we decided that we had a connection, and the connection was this absolute passion and desire to give back with no ego and no intention, to be inclusive, to be collaborative, and she's still working with us now. So myself and the First Lady created a global committee called N. N means destiny in Japan. And we pulled together 6 influencers and leaders from different regions around the world, and we're still in existence. And we said, right, we're going to take these 3 global goals out into the world. But we realized that it was a big, gnarly, ambitious goal for just a few of us to do with RoundTable supporting. And that's why we created the Global Change Ambassadors. So the Global Change Ambassadors is a concept that came to us sort of about September last year. We worked really tirelessly for about 3 months, traveling around the world, meeting these amazing people that we were just attracting into our energy, who were people who were inspirational leaders, influencers, creatives who were doing amazing things in the world, who felt like they wanted to do something to give back, but just wanted to be pointed in the right direction. And we've got quite a few of them in the room today. So I'm going to embarrass them now by asking them all to stand up. If you're an ambassador. So thank you very much. So So these amazing people all have phenomenal day jobs, and they are volunteering their time, their resources, their networks to create what we've created today. So we're extremely grateful and very, very excited, because this is just the beginning. Okay, so as I said, we know that these are huge, ambitious goals. We are going to be rolling them out into the other countries. And I think that one of the most important things is that we not only work as RoundTable, the N Committee and the Global Change Ambassadors, but that we bring in as many different people as possible. And that's why you've all been invited here today. As you know from the invitation, it was invite only. We're specifically selecting individuals from across the generations that we felt could come in and contribute, and we could create real actions together. So we've brought you in the room today to collaborate, to contribute. You are going to be the key speakers. So I'm going to tell you a bit more about the flow later on. But essentially, we want to hear from every single one of you. There's going to be an opportunity for you to have a voice and for you to tell us the things that you're passionate about. Now, with all of the unprecedented change that's happening in the world, it's really, really easy for us to focus on our time on what we don't want, rather than what we do want. And what we feel is that that feeds the very energy of the things that we don't want to have in the world. So we can all get angry and we can think about the things that are happening, or we can get together in a solution-driven mindset, which is what we're going to help to create for you today. And we can think about and focus on what we do want to have in the world. If you look at the society and the culture that we've created at the moment, it's holding a mirror up to us, okay? We have to take responsibility and accountability for what's happening in the world. It's really easy to blame and to be angry. What we're looking for in the room today is to say, okay, the preference is that these things didn't happen. However, what can we actually do to make change happen? What do we want the world to look like? How can we work together? How can we collaborate in this room and also with the global network that we're creating? So I'm going to ask you to be in that mindset rather than the mindset of what we don't want. And there is just such a massive amount of untapped potential and possibility in this world, and I'm just in this room, and I'm really, really excited to see what we come up with. We're going to take you on a journey of stepping into what's possible, so we are going to help you creatively. The day is completely immersive. It's only going to work if you participate and contribute, and if you courageously step into a space where you're generous with each other, you're generous in terms of what you're giving, and you're generous in terms of your listening, and bearing in mind that there's some younger people in the room, although from my experience, they're the ones who do a lot of the talking in these events. But please help them to feel brave and courageous and to bring them into your conversations. Jason Silver talks about becoming infinite with music, and my interpretation of what he means by this is losing ourselves in the shared ecstasy of music, becoming a collective collaboration of sound and experience. So today we're going to become an orchestra. And if you think about an orchestra, it's made up of individually beautiful pieces of music, but when it all comes together in a crescendo, it's something that's really powerful that makes the hairs on your arms stand on end. And that's what I'm hoping for today. I'm hoping that we're going to make some beautiful music together. And more importantly than that, the music that we create will have momentum and continue afterwards. So we definitely don't want people to leave the room today and say that was really, really fantastic and there to be nothing more. It has to be focused on action, and we're going to facilitate you through a process of coming up with real projects and things that you can do. And these might be things that you already have. These might be things that you're already focused on, but we're definitely going to bring it together in a way that we can support you to deliver that going forwards. So, the last thing I want to say before I introduce your hosts for the day, I'm your facilitator, so I'm not going to be hosting you, is that there is absolutely no hierarchy. The reason why we didn't print name badges with all of your titles and companies and so on is that today you are all here as individual human beings with unique ideas, with creativity and with passion. And we want to make sure that if you want to get to know each other better, great, be curious and ask each other questions. But other than that, there's no hierarchy. We're all here together to share.